of sections found within the opening hours of Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus recently, and as big fans of its predecessor The New Order, we came away feeling pretty good at how the sequel was shaping up. Here are 5 things we think you'll love about it, and 1 thing you might not. Some minor spoilers here, so be warned if you're planning on going in totally fresh. Wolfenstein The New Order surprised a lot of people when it launched with its honestly brilliant writing. It has some of the most natural and witty dialogue and delivery I've ever encountered in a game, and even though it doesn't spend a huge amount of time with its cast of characters, every moment that it does spend on them does wonders to both flesh them out and make you care about them. That groundwork really continues to pay off in The New Colossus, particularly with regards to Anya and Caroline. Anya was and is BJ's main motivation. He's kind of done with war, but does what he does to secure her future. That said, she's never a damsel. The first game's audio diaries, supposedly from her cousin Ramona, shed a lot of light on a troubled spirit, and in The New Colossus, both she and BJ have a new reason to fight, and continually support one another through literally anything. Through Caroline, The New Order delivered some of its best lines, including when BJ told her he was sorry for the loss of function in her legs, and she responded, "Don't be, I've learned to fly." Her presence and fortitude, as well as the support of either Fergus or Wyatt throughout the first game, means their plight at the beginning of The New Colossus is even more meaningful to the player. It'll be interesting to see how the new cast of characters hold up compared to such a strong team.
Alright, y'all, we got some hell to raise.
A Nazi invasion of America could be uncomfortable territory for a game launching in 2017, but the tongue-in-cheek nature of Wolfenstein 2 stops things from feeling too heavy-handed. In the same section, you witness hooded Klansmen and Nazi officers exchanging pleasantries on the street. BJ is wandering around a giant underground bunker, getting shot at while carrying a mini nuke on his back. There are robot dogs, and Nazis tiptoeing into a force field that blasts them into a fine red mist. Wolfenstein is never shy at reminding you not to take it too seriously. That's also true of its villains, as cartoony as they are. Frau Engel is back and in fine form with a newly reconstructed face, delivering both chilling threats and darkly funny put-downs with her usual charisma. Hopefully, she'll be joined by a few new faces we'll love to hate, and some enemy types we'll have to bring down.
Oh, I hope you don't have a fire back there to put out.
The character insights and the story ensure that Wolfenstein 2 is never just an endless assault. The quiet moments are filled with things for you to look at and ponder over in this new and ominously cheery alternate timeline. But once you enter a combat situation, it all descends into chaotic fun as you scrabble around for ammo and health packs while blasting enemies in the face or zapping them into a pile of cinders with a laser gun. Some of the sequences we played so far did give us a touch of déjà vu, given that certain scenarios are quite similar to The New Order, including an objective to steal a train from a heavily guarded Nazi base that plays very close to parts of the Berlin Catacombs chapter in The New Order. But knowing that The New Order was a sprawling tale that covered land, sea, air, and outer space, The New Colossus will very likely have some new tricks up its sleeves. Where else is there to take our globe-trotting Nazi shooting tour? We've already declared war by firing an honest-to-goodness nuke, so it's kind of terrifying to imagine how they'll respond. A thing I actually really liked about my time with The New Colossus so far is that its gameplay hasn't actually changed all that much from The New Order. Small, functional improvements have been made, such as ammo auto pickup, but for the most part, it's just a continuation of the story without all the unnecessary tweaks, additions, and upheavals that sequels usually feel they have to bring on board to keep players interested. It's definitely possible that this will change a bit later on in the game, given that BJ is wearing the .E Should power suit, which seemingly enables him to run faster, deflect gunfire, and even bust through walls. But for the most part, the combat we've played is the same punchy, crunchy delight it was before, and we have an almost identical arsenal at our disposal, though complete with some new upgrades. The automatic shotgun is, as ever, a force to be reckoned with, which, pro tip, makes for a very fun time on the cramped train carriages. The thing about the new and improved Wolfenstein is that even though it looks like and indeed can be loud, dumb fun, it's clever and it wants you to be too. The New Order frequently offered alternate hidden paths to your objective if you were diligent enough to look, and certain enemies could be better handled with a keen eye and the right tools. The new Colossus seems to want to carry that forward. In addition to that, the previous game was all about changing the rules, giving you new challenges, puzzles, and locations to ensure things never got too samey. The opening wheelchair level of the new Colossus kind of reads like a statement of intent on that front, telling you that developer Machine Games isn't afraid to literally take the legs out from under you in an attempt to try something new or make you feel new things for its characters. I'm definitely glad we're along for the ride. However, it has to be said that we think the stealth doesn't feel that great at present. Players who have experienced the New Order will know that stealth can play an important role in getting BJ safely from one objective to the next. In an area populated by, say, 5 guards, you can take them all out swiftly and silently with a little careful maneuvering. But alert the commanding officer who calls in backup, and you've gotten yourself into a much more complex and potentially deadlier situation. It could definitely just be the game's balancing at present, and indeed we were advised by Bethesda to play the new Colossus on easy mode at a recent press event for this very reason, but the stealth doesn't feel quite right yet. The majority of guards use protective head and face coverings at present, taking the option of a headshot with a silenced pistol out of the equation more times than you'd like. And it feels like guards were a little too hyper-aware of us, investigating even the slightest noise and sounding the alarm immediately. That's definitely not a deal breaker, especially when going in guns blazing is such a joy, but it'll be something for fans to keep an eye on as we move closer to launch. So what do you think of the new Colossus? Like what you've seen so far? Let us know in the comments, and if you haven't already, you can check out our Let's Play of both the opening wheelchair section and the Roswell section of the game, which are on screen now. Or you can see how I got on with playing Wolfenstein 3D in a recent episode of Late to the Party. Bye!